Do the people think that they will be left to say, "We believe and they will not be tried"? These powerful words from Surah Al-Ankabut lay the foundation for understanding the Hijra, the migration of the early Muslims from Makkah to Medina. This event, a pivotal moment in Islamic history, was not merely a physical journey but a testament to the unwavering faith and resilience of the early believers. Allah's command to migrate was a test, a trial designed to distinguish the true believers from those who merely paid lip service to Islam. The Muslims in Makkah faced relentless persecution. Their faith was mocked, their livelihoods threatened, and their very lives were in danger. Yet they clung steadfastly to their belief, finding solace and strength in the message of Islam. This journey, fraught with danger and uncertainty, was a test of faith, a crucible in which the true mettle of the believers would be revealed. It marked a turning point in the history of Islam, laying the foundation for a community built on the principles of justice, equality, and compassion. Life for the early Muslims in Makkah was one of constant hardship. The Quraysh, custodians of the Kaaba and fiercely protective of their ancestral beliefs, viewed the nascent religion of Islam as a threat. They responded to the Prophet Muhammad's message with hostility and violence. Muslims were subjected to public ridicule, economic boycotts, and even physical torture. Their homes were raided, their families threatened. The believers, vastly outnumbered and outmatched in worldly power, endured these trials with remarkable patience and fortitude. They found solace in their faith, drawing strength from the words of the Quran and the unwavering support of their fellow Muslims. Despite the relentless persecution, the message of Islam continued to spread. People, drawn to its message of equality, justice, and compassion, embraced the new faith in secret. The Hijra was a strategic move to preserve the fledgling Muslim community and create a space where they could practice their faith freely. The decision to leave their homes, their families, and their belongings behind was not an easy one. It was a leap of faith, a journey into the unknown, fraught with peril and uncertainty. The Quraysh, determined to thwart their plans, kept a watchful eye on the movements of the Muslims. Leaving Makkah unnoticed was a perilous endeavor, requiring meticulous planning and unwavering courage. The journey itself was arduous. The scorching desert heat, the scarcity of food and water, and the constant fear of pursuit tested the limits of their endurance. But through it all, their faith remained unwavering, fueled by the belief that they were following Allah's command and that their sacrifices would be rewarded. The Hijra was a spiritual odyssey, a test of faith, and a testament to the unwavering commitment of the early Muslims to their beliefs. Among the many inspiring stories of the Hijra is that of Hazrat Seb Rumi, an elderly man who exemplified unwavering faith and sacrifice. Seb, a devoted follower of the Prophet, was known for his piety and generosity. He longed to join the Muslims migrating to Medina, to be part of this nascent community founded on the principles of Islam. However, Seb was burdened with a heavy heart. He had entrusted a significant sum of money to a prominent Makkan, a man he considered trustworthy. To his dismay, the man, consumed by greed, denied ever having received any money from Seb. Despite this betrayal, Seb's faith never wavered. With a heavy heart but unwavering resolve, he chose to join the caravan heading towards Medina, leaving behind his worldly possessions and placing his trust entirely in Allah's mercy. The story of Abu Salama and his family paints a poignant picture of the sacrifices made by the early Muslims during the Hijra. Abu Salama, a devoted companion of the Prophet, was among the first to embrace Islam. He and his wife, Salama, were determined to answer the call to migrate, to seek refuge and freedom in Medina. As they prepared for their journey, a deep sadness filled their hearts. They were forced to leave behind their home, their belongings, and the familiar comfort of their tribe. Adding to their distress was the knowledge that Salama was heavily pregnant. The journey was fraught with challenges. The scorching desert heat took its toll on Salama, who grew weaker with each passing day. Despite the hardships, their faith never faltered. They drew strength from their belief in Allah, finding solace in their shared dream of reaching Medina, a place where they could practice their faith freely. As they neared Medina, Salama went into labor. In a desolate wasteland, miles away from any shelter, she gave birth to their son, Salama. Despite the hardships they faced, the migrating Muslims were buoyed by a glimmer of hope, the prospect of reaching Yathrib, a city that had offered them refuge. News of the Ansar, the helpers of Medina, who had embraced Islam and welcomed the Prophet and his followers with open arms, had reached the migrants, filling their hearts with gratitude and anticipation. The Ansar, true to their name, proved to be the epitome of generosity and brotherhood. They opened their homes and hearts to the migrants, sharing their limited resources and providing them with much-needed comfort and support. Upon arriving in Yathrib, the Prophet Muhammad wasted no time in laying the foundations of a just and equitable society. He established the mosque not just as a place of worship, but as a community center, a place where disputes were settled, knowledge was shared, and the bonds of brotherhood were strengthened. The Hijra marked the beginning of a new era for the Muslim community. No longer persecuted and marginalized, they were now free to practice their faith openly, to build a society based on the principles of Islam. As more and more Muslims secretly slipped out of Makkah, the Quraysh grew increasingly alarmed. The exodus of their own kin, their neighbors, was a blow to their pride and power. They realized the gravity of the situation. The Muslims, by establishing a stronghold in Medina, were becoming a force to be reckoned with. The Quraysh were determined to stop the Prophet Muhammad from leaving. His presence in Makkah, although increasingly threatened, still represented a glimmer of hope for their ancestral traditions. One night, as the Quraysh lay plotting, the Prophet Muhammad, accompanied by his loyal companion Abu Bakr, stealthily left his home. They embarked on a perilous journey, their destination Yathrib, the city of hope. The Quraysh were furious when they discovered the Prophet's escape. They launched a frantic pursuit, determined to capture him and bring him back to Makkah, dead or alive. Enraged by the Prophet's escape, the Quraysh held a clandestine meeting at Dar an-Nadwa, their council house. The atmosphere was thick with anger and a burning desire for revenge. They knew they had to act swiftly and decisively to crush the growing Muslim community before it gained a stronger foothold in Medina. Various plans were proposed, each more sinister than the last. Some suggested sending a delegation to Medina, offering the Prophet wealth and power in exchange for his return. Others advocated a complete siege of the city, cutting off their supplies and starving them into submission. Finally, a chilling proposition emerged from the shadows to assemble a team of skilled assassins, one from each clan, and send them to Medina to kill the Prophet Muhammad. The plan was met with grim approval. The Quraysh, blinded by rage and a desperate clinging to their fading power, were willing to resort to any means necessary to achieve their goal. The Hijra stands as a testament to the unwavering courage and resilience of the early Muslims. They faced persecution, endured hardships, and made unimaginable sacrifices, all for the sake of their faith. They left behind their homes, their families, and their belongings, knowing that they might never return. Yet their spirits never wavered. They faced each challenge with unwavering faith, drawing strength from their belief in Allah and finding solace in the company of their fellow Muslims. The Hijra was a spiritual odyssey, a crucible in which their faith was tested and refined. The story of the Hijra is a powerful reminder that even in the face of adversity, faith and determination can triumph. The Hijra was a watershed moment in Islamic history, marking a turning point for the nascent Muslim community. It signified the end of their persecution in Makkah and the beginning of a new era in Medina, where they were free to practice their faith and build a society based on the principles of Islam. The Hijra also holds immense religious significance. It marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar, a testament to the importance of this event in shaping the course of Islamic history. The Prophet Muhammad's migration to Medina paved the way for the establishment of the first Muslim state, a community founded on the principles of justice, equality, and compassion. The Hijrah teaches us the importance of standing up for what is right, even in the face of adversity, and to never lose sight of the principles that guide our faith. The spirit of the Hijrah, with its emphasis on perseverance, sacrifice, and unwavering faith, continues to inspire Muslims to this day. It serves as a guiding light, reminding us of the importance of striving for justice, compassion, and unity in an increasingly divided world.